Hey, what's up? Oh, hey, man. How was your race 2 weeks ago? Oh man, it was so good. I got first in my class. It was amazing. I beat a scooter. It was wild. Oh, that's crazy. I just don't care. It's been like 2 weeks and your bike is still sitting there covered in mud, right? Yeah, okay, you're right. Why don't you go out there and clean up that muddy pile of whatever and figure out what's leaking out of it before our roommates throw us out. All right, so yeah, responsible me was absolutely right. It's been about 2 weeks since I finished my race and I haven't done anything with it. But the good news is that now that we can go over this together and I can show you my post-race routine. It involves washing the bike, inspecting the bike, making a list of all the things that you're gonna need to replace or repair, ordering the parts, and then, finally installing them. So I'm glad that you guys can watch this and see the routine that I go through. Usually that's a long drawn out process. And so we're going to go together. We're going to film it in pieces and it'll be great. So bad news, good news, bad news time. So the bad news is I don't have one of those fancy pressure washers where I can just wash my bike at my house. So I got to go to the normal everyday car wash just like everybody else. The good news is that there's one right around the corner from me. It's only about a block and a half away. Now, other bad news is the last time I had this thing running at the race, it finished the race, but it was pouring coolant out of it. So I'm a little afraid to run it before I figure out why it's leaking coolant. So we're just gonna push. I don't think I could log this on Rever, could I? I didn't ride today, I pushed. Oh, uphill. Uphill, uphill. All right, we made it. Oh cool, this one's already got mud in it. Fancy. So, things I normally bring while washing my bike. The center stand, I definitely need that. Holds the bike upright. I've washed the bike on the kickstand a bunch of times. I usually find that on the kickstand side I miss a lot of spots. So we need one of those. The bike's a lot easier. Center stand is a little easier to get up on that. This works fine. And then the other thing I make sure I always bring is this stuff. Normally I've been using the normal stuff that comes out of your everyday car wash, but I decided to give this a little bit, give this a try, see how it works. And it's working pretty well. I'm tired. So, all right. Now we wash the bike. That's the most important thing. Oh, one more thing, forgot to mention, Revzilla totally sells this, so throw a bottle in your next car. It's working pretty well for me so far, so that might be a little out. Add to cart. I forgot to mention why I actually do this. You get those adventure bike guys that are like, oh, clean bike, oh, he never takes it off-road. No, a clean bike is a well taken care of bike. The reason why we wash it after every race, every ride, periodically is to inspect for damage. The best thing that you can do to keep your bike running properly is to wash it. Don't be that guy that just rides around. Oh, I didn't even know that bolt was loose. Oh, I didn't even know that was missing. Don't be that guy. Wash your bike as often as possible. Absolutely novice tip, but it is a pro tip actually. Do not ever spray your hand controls or your chain with pressure washer. Just don't do it. All right, so that cost me about 10, 12 bucks. I don't know. And it looks completely brand new. Obviously it's all wet. You know how it looked before. So this is gonna give us a good benchmark to go over like what we broke and what we need to replace and what rear items are what. Plus, no one wants to work on muddy, gross bikes. So even if you're about to take it to a dealer, run it through a wash. Like go wash it. All right. Time for the hike back home. So after about 6 months of not having a shop, I finally wiggled and maneuvered the bikes out of the way enough that I can get my bike lift and my toolbox into the shop to finally get it set up. I've got my scrambler up on the lift. We're finally gonna figure out, one, why it's leaking coolant, two, make a list of all the things that I need to replace that I've probably broken or worn out. And then we're gonna do a general safety check of the entire bike from tire to tire and make sure nothing else needs to be replaced before our next race. So let's get started. And yes, I'm using my roommate's car as a camera stand. Sorry, Steve. All right, so this thing is off. Yes, the lift will go higher, whatever. Still haven't quite found source of the leak yet, but we did get to our coolant reservoir, and so we can kind of see how much it's gonna go. How much left of it is gonna leak out. We obviously missed quite a bit of dirt in there, which is fine because the skid plate was on there, so oops. I heard from somebody that this hose tends to leak sometimes, so that's possible the culprit. Possible the culprit? Like in words, all right? I know what I'm wordsing. I don't see anything. Do you see anything? This looks bent. I think I bent this. So nothing jumping out at us yet. Or one of the bad things about waiting so long about this was the coolant is probably empty now and we don't know where it's coming from. So we'll investigate later. I mean, the worst case scenario is we just take coolant and pour it into the reservoir and see what comes out. See what comes out and where it comes out. Has anyone seen my 10mm? Oh, hey! A scrambler turned into a beta. It's like motorcycle magic. Just kidding. Anyway, the way the race schedule ended up going, I'm going to be racing this guy before the scrambler. So the scrambler got backburnered, and while I get this thing ready for the season. But in the meantime, I ordered some parts that I knew the scrambler was going to need, such as the front fender. And then a chain and sprocket set. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'm going to get the scrambler back up on the lift. We're going to find the source of that leak. We're going to start replacing some parts, and we're going to get it ready for the 2022 season. Hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you in the next one.